Do you have a fear of being left alone? Hey, guess what? You're normal. Hey, good morning. This is Jason. It is August 11th, 2016, and today we're going to talk about the fear of being left. Last night, a friend of mine messaged me. She recently met somebody. I say recent, probably in the last couple of weeks. Met somebody. I guess she's head over heels for this guy. They've been posting photos of them at the coast, and you know what people do when they first meet somebody, and this attraction, this flutter of emotions. And she sent me a message last night, and also early this morning, and she's like, "Hey, I'm fear of this guy, leaving me. I have this fear in me, and I just can't get it out of me." And I started thinking, one, that it's probably make a good video, and because this is something I think we all deal with. And two, I wonder if there's more to this about this fear of being left, besides just being left and being left alone. So I did a little research. And do you know there's actually a phobia? I may pronounce it wrong, but it's called thantophobia, or thantophobia. I'm not probably pronouncing it correctly, but there's actually a phobia of being left. It also refers not to just relationships, but it also refers to somebody passing away, or somebody you're in love with dying. But it's actually this phobia. And so today we're going to try to quickly talk about a couple things that you can do that'll help you overcome this fear of being left, this fear of the other person leaving you. And so let's just kind of jump right into it. So the first thing we want to talk about, it's completely normal. Do not think that you are all alone. Do not think that you are abnormal or there's something wrong with you because you have this fear of being left. Me personally, I can only share from personal experience. I'm 40 years old. My longest relationship has been 8 months. I've always wanted to make it past that 8 months. So of course, every person I meet or every person I start seeing or liking, of course I have this fear, and I understand this is completely normal. There's nothing I can do about this fear. I can kind of compare it to somebody walking up to you, and every time they walked up to you for 10 times, they slapped you in the face. By the 9th time, I think you would probably take a step back, or you'd duck. Why? Because you know what's coming. I hate to say it. I hate to go into a relationship that way, but it is what it is. So it's quite normal. We have to accept it. The next thing we're going to talk about is stop trying to control the situation. The fact is, when two people are in love, or when two people are in a relationship, you can't control every situation. You can't control whether they're going to leave you or not. You can try to do things to strengthen the relationship. You can always be in tune to their wants, their needs. You can do things hopefully to give them a reason not to leave. But in the end, you can't make them not leave you. If I could make somebody not leave me, I would still be with the person I'm still in love with today. And it's just not a fact of life, and we have to just accept it. So stop trying to control the situation. Enjoy the relationship that you're in. The next one we're going to talk about is make the best of what you have. In other words, if there's somebody in your life and you really enjoy them and you really love them, make the best of it. Enjoy the time you have with them. Glean the moment that you're in at that moment. Don't think about the future. Don't focus on the future. The future will worry about itself. Live in the moment. Enjoy the moment. The next one we're going to talk about is writing down your fears. If you have some legitimate fears, write them down. Make a list of all your fears. You'd be amazed. Just writing things down, just putting them down on paper so you can see them and list them out. You'd be amazed how much that will help you. And sometimes when we make the list, we start realizing, wow, maybe this one's not so important. Or we start kind of prioritizing our fears, when we start realizing that, some of these other little fears aren't something even to worry about. Maybe there's some big ones, but yeah, forget the little ones. So write them down. And the next one we're going to talk about is live in the moment. We've already kind of talked about that a little bit, but like I said before, live in the moment, live in the now. Don't focus on the future. Don't focus on what's going to come or what's not going to come. And if you're gonna think about the future, think about the future in a positive way. Try not to train your brain to think about the negative. Think about the excitement. Think about what the plan holds. I remember, last woman I was with, and this is probably a fault of mine, but I remember we planned about the future. We talked about the future. We both owned houses, and we were talking about, okay, if we sold the houses, maybe we could get, some property, and, each kid could have their own room, and, we kind of dreamt, and so we lived kind of in the moment. It didn't happen, but I guarantee I enjoyed the moment I was in right then. Next one, trust that you can cope with this. I guarantee you can cope with this. I guarantee you can cope with the fear. I guarantee you can overcome it. Hopefully your partner can help you overcome and cope with this, but try to cope with it. Try not to let it control you. You try to control it. Try to take back the fear. Try to control the fear instead of letting the fear control you. Next one we're going to talk about is trust that life does go on. This is a hard one for me. I'll be very honest with you. In the last couple months, I've been stuck in this rut that, there's no life after this, that life really can't go on, that life is just going to end right here, and I'm, ready for life to come to an end, the curtains close, and, but in the end, we have to realize that life does go on. You had this life before you met the other person, and so if you're currently in a relationship and you're worried about them leaving, just keep going forward with life. Keep enjoying the relationship, enjoying the moment you're in, but life needs to keep going forward. That's really, really important. The next one, share your fear. It's okay to have fear. It's okay to have anxiety. It's okay to be worried about it. I shared my fear with the person I was with. We kind of even joked about it. I'm like, hey, there's a good chance you're going to leave me after 8 months because this is what happened in the past. And of course, at that point, they're like, no, we never think it's going to happen, but, life happens. So share your fear. If you share your fear with your friends, counselor, family, or the person you're with, share your fear with them. Don't bottle it inside. Don't hide it inside. Accept it and move forward with it. And the last one we're going to talk about is remember it's never too late. It's never too late to let somebody in. It's never too late to love. It's never too late to let go of that fear. And I know you're thinking, well, I can never let go of the fear. You're right. I think part of us will never completely let go of that fear. If you think because you're married, your partner won't leave you. If you think because you're in this wonderful relationship and the person tells you every morning that they love you, that they're not going to leave, it ain't going to happen. That's not reality. The woman that left me 2 days before she left me, she told me, I got this text saying she loved me and how much she loved me. And so there's no guarantee in life, but it's never too late to try to work on the relationship. It's never too late to try to work on yourself. It's never too late. Whatever the circumstances, it's never too late. So anyways, hey, I just wanted to kind of quick share a couple thoughts about overcoming the fear of being left alone, or that person leaving you, or if you're afraid of your partner dying. I just really want to kind of share those thoughts. I kind of hope it helped you. And one last thing that kind of comes to mind, and this is a hard one. At some point or other, we're all going to be alone. Whether you're married for 50 years, 15 years, or 5 years, there's going to be some point where you're going to be left alone. The person's going to leave you, whether they pass away, or whether they move on, or whether the relationship doesn't work out. There's always going to be a point where you're going to be alone, and we just have to accept it. And I don't think our brains kind of work like that. Our brains kind of want to live in the moment. But just remember, there is going to be a point where you're left alone. You can overcome it. You can work through it. I am a great example of that. So just kind of keep that in mind. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please click the subscribe button. If you haven't liked it, like my video, share it on Facebook, share it wherever you share it. Have a great day and have a blessed day.